So Albert and I, right, we come from the inside sales world. So we spent probably over 2 decades collectively in some pretty large companies selling advertising and marketing technology solutions to the small to medium business segment of the population.
Okay.
So think lawyers, doctors, home services, selling websites, SEO, SEM. So we saw the rise of the importance of first getting a website, right? And then saw the rise of, search, right? Hey, you got to do SEO, you got to show up on that front page. And then ads, right, on Google, Yahoo, Bing, and then, okay, SEM. Then all of a sudden it was, these social media platforms came along. So now it wasn't enough to have a website, wasn't enough to be on the front page, wasn't enough to be showing up on the top or and the bottom. Now it was like, hey, that's good, but once they go there, they're gonna want to watch some stories. They want to know they want to know what you're about. They want to know, why you chose to be in the business that you're in.
Right.
So all these platforms, and so we saw that, and we also saw businesses, because of the space we were in, had this massive gap of knowing, okay, I'm expected to have this, but how do I do it? So back to Albert's point earlier, they can do it themselves. They don't have the time, resources, or know-how. And the people that knew how to do it weren't accessible. They can't go, your average small business can't go spend, $100,000 on a retainer for a local agency, right? Or hire an in-house videographer or editor for probably about the same cost. Some can, but most can't. So we saw that. And then on the other side of the coin, Albert's wife and our co-founder, she's been a very successful actress, commercial film actress for, going on probably almost a decade now. Worked at some of the biggest companies out there: Google, Verizon, Samsung, UPS, Crate and Barrel. She had a feature film on Amazon. So she's about as successful as you can get, other than, showing up at the Oscars, right? And she saw that it was just a nightmare from a logistics standpoint. Organization, right? Hey, we got a production tomorrow, and it's, we won't name the exact name, but she had one specific one where it was a very big brand that everyone would know, and she had no idea where to park. She had no idea what she was doing. She had no idea when she was doing it. She shows up, other people didn't know what they were doing, so there's just all this wasted space and wasted movement that we said, man, we got to clean this up, right? This is why it's not accessible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. So, this concept is new to me, as I'm sure it's new. So thank you guys for bringing this to market.
Yeah.
And so what is your growth look like? And since you started, since you came up with the concept and now you're launching, how has the growth been?
Yeah.
I know that, like everything else, it may be prettier now. Maybe it wasn't pretty in the beginning.
Yes.
How has that been, and what are some of the challenges you faced with that?
Yeah, we'll go with the not so pretty part. So we launched, we incorporated the company 2019, April. Wasn't an April Fool's joke. It was for real. And, 2019 was a lot of research and development for us. What are we going to build exactly? What does the technology need to look like? Let's talk to both of these groups a lot and help them out and see what they need. And so that's what 2019 was. And then 2020, we felt like we had the blueprint, the game plan. All right, this is how we're going to go to market. Let's start selling services and build technology around that. And then COVID hit. My co-founder got pregnant.
Okay.
And
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much. He's amazing. He's, obviously part of the brand. He was born September in 2020. And so we went through the 2020 market, and when COVID hit, everything shut down in Austin, Texas, which is where our headquarters is. And within, what we did was, okay, wow, this is a bad spot. We just launched. We had people that had just signed up in February that were calling us back and saying, hey, I can't, continue with the services, et cetera. And so we actually had to almost take a big step backwards. And what we did was we went out to the market, started educating. So I started running webinars about how to survive in the digital age, right? How COVID's impacting your business, and here's how you got to take it to the next level. And we did that, and within 45 days, we started getting inbound. And people were like, oh, wow, now I need this. Now this is essential. COVID's here. And so since then, it's been growth nonstop. It's been really hard and difficult. As you can imagine, both these groups need a lot of support. They're typically marginalized. They're typically unsupported, and so we've been really hands-on in the growth. And now we're at a point where, to your question about the vision, real estate has been a phenomenal vertical for us. The product market fit it was too good to be true, right? And real estate needs content more than any other professional out there. And so 70% of our clientele and business and subscribers on the platform today are real estate. Agents, team leads, broker owners.
Okay.
And the other 30% is a hodgepodge of e-commerce companies, tech companies, medical, some dentists, some lawyers, some accountants, right? And so now what we're ready to do is not only grow geographically across the country, but grow into different verticals and bring the solution that real estate has been able to leverage in a big way and actually help some dentists and some doctors and some lawyers.
What would you say is your number two?
Finance is what we're leaning into.
Investment, finance. So close, similar to
similar business structures. Yeah. Similar need.
Yeah. Legal, medical, right up there. And then the there we go. The when we first started out, e-commerce was our flagship. Because I mean, those, as you guys know, that business, it cannot run without content. Their entire business is content, right? A/B testing, versions of ads, running ads for different markets, right? New products, rollout, content for their website. Like, it's all run off content, photo, video, and audio. We learned some things about them that said, okay, let's come back to them and lean into pro services. But now that we're at the maturity stage, we can come back to e-commerce and do both lifestyle and in studio content.
It's pretty cool. So you launched in 2019. 2019 was an awesome year, right? New company, larger family, and then 2020, like everyone else who had some adversity, had to make some adjustments. And then now we're, I guess, 2 full years out, right? Or 3.
Yeah.
Coming up on 3 years out. Yeah. And then you guys are growing. So you guys are international now.
We've got some huge purchase orders that, are putting us in a position where we're like, holy moly, how are we going to fulfill and service this? And it's a great spot to be in. Our investors love that story more than the 2020 story. So we're in a really good spot. For us, as we keep scaling, what we need to be mindful of is the creative. They're the lifeblood, right? They're the ones providing the service. They're the ones taking the risk, right? Their equipment, I mean, doing this, their equipment costs a lot of money, and they're lugging that thing around. And so we need to make sure that they're taken care of, that we're putting them at the same light as the business owner. Yeah, so that these two groups can just do better business together at scale. That's what we're trying to do, right? And so that's very important to me, very important to obviously my co-founder, and very important to our business
and your partners. Yeah, right. You're because really your partners are the artists.
Yeah,
are the creatives.
Yeah,
your partners, 100%. and then you have the client,
of course.
Well, and everyone has to work together.
Yeah, and there's no company that's even tried to do anything that we've done has taken that into mind. They've either sacrificed one or the other, right? They've either leaned all the way in on the creative and then disregarded the business owner and their needs, or they leaned all the way on the business owner and disregarded the creative and their needs.
Yeah, it's a delicate balance, right?
Very much, which makes us very
right. So what do you guys like to do in your, I mean, obviously, I would say you're part-time, but I know probably in your part-time you're doing more of this. But what do you like to do in your part-time that's not media related?
Well, for me, becoming a dad was, life-changing. And it's been a lot of my time that I try to squeeze in is with him, with Oliver, my son. He's playing soccer and sports now. He's 2 years old. So that's where I spend a lot of my time. And then Knicks basketball, which is a heartache.
Okay. Yeah, no.
Grinding it out with the Knicks.
Listen, for years. I'm a Wizards fan. So, it's
Knicks and Wizards,
it's
right?
like, oh man, what do you do?
Man,
just lifelong mediocre.
Man, it's just anyone watching this, send these guys an email and just express your condolences and your empathy for them. I'm similar. Don't have a 2-year-old. Have a husky, which is probably worse than a 2-year-old. But a lot of sports. Trying to get active. We're in Austin. Austin's a super active community. Several lakes, hiking. It's super very. So that's really cool. A lot of good restaurants out there. Like not quite New York's level, but it's probably top 15. But super active. So I'm trying to get out. Play some golf, play some sports. Just came back from a trip to Bandon Dunes. For any golfers out there, bucket list item, coastal Oregon. I tried to bring some of our content flair there, but sometimes you got to just put the phone down and enjoy the natural beauty.
Yeah,
but
Austin's a great city.
Yeah,
been there a few times.
Yeah,
going back again next month. Month after.
Yeah, when you're down there, let's run it back. Episode 2.
That's right. Yeah, and maybe we'll play some golf.
Oh yeah, well yeah, walking and talking, right? Well, yeah. You pick the spot, or we'll figure out. Walk across a bridge, right? Hopefully it's not snowing down there. That'd be rare if we got snow in New York and snow in Austin.
At the same right. Yeah. Episode 1, episode 2.
Right.
All right. I've got a quote. I got a quote of the day.
Oh, let's go.
Let's see what we got.
Quote of the day.
Yeah.
I like the socks, by the way, but I'm not sure if the camera can pick up those socks, but I hope it can.
Online video is the Swiss Army knife of internet marketing. It really can be used all over the customer life cycle, whether it's customer service, marketing, or even recruitment.
Man.
Mark Roberts.
Now we're talking.
You guys are helping bridge that gap. And I will say, I mean, from personal experience, and Nigel and I have worked and tried to find those solutions when I was out of town, and it was challenging. It's been challenging. So that you guys are bringing that to the marketplace, or have brought it to the marketplace and growing at scale. You know, I'm really excited.
I'm so glad
with the product.
So glad you did that. That's one of our main. When people think content, their brains, especially in real estate, goes to Instagram first, right? Instagram, Facebook, some LinkedIn, right? YouTube. Like they think marketing, right? Yeah, that's the utility. Like video is only for marketing or branding or lead gen. And one of our first things we always tell people is, yeah, that's great. That's low hanging fruit. We'll do that all day. But man, what we call operational assets, like you just said, right? I think you actually said it in the quote, right? The customer life cycle, the buyer journey, the seller journey, onboarding, recruiting, training, tutorials, right? That's all. None of that is marketing and advertising, but it's more important.